welcome to episode 9 of our podcast. My name is Manuel,
And my name is Elena.
and today's topic is Pinocchio, the movie.
Yes, so of course I think everybody knows Pinocchio, who is that is the book of Carlo Collodi, that is an Italian author. Of course, the Italian people know him because he is one of the most famous writers in the Italian literature. But Pinocchio became also famous all around the world because of Disney's cartoon. That was one of the first ones after Snow White. So that's how an Italian product became famous.
Worldwide, yeah. And also, apart from the people who read the original book, basically the Disney adaptation became the original story.
That's right.
It changed people's minds about it, so there are so many people that don't really know the original plot of the story and believe that the Disney one is the official, let's say.
Well, that's the same situation of a lot of Disney movies that are based on traditional stories. I mean, the German ones. Usually, it's the Grimm's fairy tales. Such as Cinderella or the Sleeping Beauty or other stories. And that's what they did with Pinocchio, basically. So, Disney is for children. They say that is for children. So they completely
they try to take every dark aspect of the story out of it, so in order not to scare children and to have some sort of sugary story for families.
Let's say so. They're afraid that children could be scared, as you said, but the point of these stories, such as the Grimm's one, or Pinocchio's, or Cinderella's, and etc., were meant to be for children to make them understand that real life is difficult. You have a lot of struggles, and it's not so. You have to deal with reality, so you have blood, violence, murderers, etc., even if they are fairy tales, let's say. So just to make children understand that people are bad.
Yeah, well, there are hard-hitting aspects of the stories, and yes, in order to have some kind of mental growth in the viewership, young viewership of this kind of media, let's say.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is that the Disney adaptation became so rooted in our culture that basically nobody knows the real story, and that's what happened when the last movie about Pinocchio came out. It was last year.
Yes, it's very recent. Yes,
I think it was last year. Yeah, and it was directed by Matteo Garrone, famous Italian director.
That's right.
And well, it's really well made. It's a very good product, something that Italian cinema should be proud of.
Yeah.
The problem is, I don't know if it's really a problem, at least not for us, but for the critics, the problem was that the movie was too dark. Let's say that there were too many dark aspects about it. But it's funny because basically the real story inside the book, it's this one. So it's the one that the movie told. Not every aspect is like 100% the same.
No, of course, it's impossible.
Of the book, but most parts are, and it's really what it is. I mean, it's a great adaptation of the book, and it's really unprecedented because you didn't have, I guess, enough technology or money to make a movie like this. I mean, the technical side of it is really great.
Yeah,
So they
it's
have
great.
good CGI. The photography is great, and it's really like a fairy tale story.
Yeah, there are a lot of adaptation, of course, of Pinocchio. I think they made a lot of movies, etc., in the years. But yes, this, let's say, this, they decided to make it dark. I think to make it like the book, because the story is like that, so it's a little bit dark, a little bit frightened, of course, and
It's frightening, yeah.
yeah, it's very frightening, and a lot of characters that are really weird sometimes, and sometimes they are very scary, so you just have Pinocchio's view, so just a little boy who is just born, more or less, who doesn't know what to do, doesn't have he doesn't think, he's just a puppet. So
yeah, it's how it develops also,
Yeah.
because Pinocchio's character in the Disney or classic movie, it's not the same as this one.
No,
Yes,
completely
he is a child who doesn't really know how the world works and tries to do whatever he wants, pays his price for what he does, and learns a lesson. Basically, this is the story.
Yeah.
And it's pretty short.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the classic animated movie, it's quite short,
Yeah.
as most Disney classics are. This one is quite long, so
Yeah,
the
almost
movie
2
is
hours.
about 2 hours, yes, and there's a lot. There's a lot happening inside, and you have a lot of changes of scenery and situations and characters. I mean, he really is like I don't know, some sort of a pinball.
Yeah.
And he gets thrown around in different situations all the time. He ends up always in a different situation. He's always in trouble, basically.
Yeah, basically, yes.
And he doesn't learn a lesson. That's the
No,
point.
that's the
because
point.
because in the other adaptations, I mean, yes, he makes his mistakes, but after a while, he learns.
That's right.
In this one,
Until the end, he's continuing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just. He continues doing whatever he wants.
he just doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care about anything.
And also the point is that in the original adaptation, he doesn't realize he's making a mistake.
No, that's right.
When he does, he doesn't do them anymore.
Yeah.
In this one, he knows.
Yeah, and
Maybe in the beginning he doesn't, but after a while he realizes, because people tell him, like, no, you shouldn't do this, you
That's
should do
right.
that, and so on. So he knows that, and he doesn't care. He
doesn't
openly
care.
says that he doesn't care.
That's right. Another thing is that in let's say in the Disney one, you see Pinocchio that he loves his father. He loves Geppetto a lot. But in this movie, at the beginning, he doesn't care about Geppetto at all. He just think. Yes, he's dead, but he doesn't care what he's saying. He doesn't care about the money he spends. He doesn't care if he's poor. He doesn't care if they don't have money.
But it starts caring when Geppetto disappears.
That's right. That's when he starts to care a little bit, because then he just continues to do stupid things, or things he doesn't. He
doesn't usually do. I mean, he does stuff because he's always influenced by something or someone else.
That's right.
So he's really like in open waters, okay, getting drowned on left and right all the time, and basically, yes, he's a child. So it's like when a child has a toy, and he doesn't play with that toy. The toy is there somewhere in the room, and he doesn't care, because even if he doesn't play with the toy, he knows nobody will touch his toy.
That's right.
But when the toy disappears or someone takes the toy, basically, oh yeah, at that time the child will realize that he wants that toy.
That's
so
right.
it's the same situation with Geppetto. So in the beginning, he takes it for granted. So
Yeah.
he knows that he is his creator, his dad, but that's it. So it's just part of the story, and basically doesn't care.
Yeah, that's right. But basically, Pinocchio is the image of little children, you know. They just don't see anything wrong in people because that's what Pinocchio does. So basically, he's a good boy. He's trusting everyone, even if there is something wrong behind them. And that's basically the idea children have. So they trust people. They are very good, and on the other side, if a friend tell them to do, I don't know, a stupid thing, they do it because they're children and they want to have fun. They don't want to go to school. They just want to play all day long, etc. And that's what Pinocchio does. So basically, Pinocchio is a child. Is every one of us, let's say, when we are children, we are like that. And that's the main reason Collodi created this character. And Pinocchio is only one of these characters, because if you think about Tom Sawyer or Oliver Twist, basically it's the same idea behind it. So it's just an idea to make children understand that at a certain point you have to think on what you're doing, and basically, as you said before, so if you have any consequences, it's just your fault, you know. So just to understand what you're doing, basically.
Yeah, and also a big difference, referring like to the original, it's that yeah, the theme of the original, or the common idea that people have about Pinocchio is always like, don't hang around, go to school, do your job, and respect the others, basically.
Yeah, basically.
And in the movies, it's really something else. So yeah, he's addressed about the school situation, so he has to go to school. He doesn't have to hang around with other children or I don't know, well, miss school all the time.
Yeah.
But it's not only that, because in the end, of course, we don't want to go into spoilers, but he saves his dad, yes,
Yeah.
like in
Like
basically in
the
every
book.
adaptation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's not only that, because usually in the original, he saves his dad, and everything is happy, and they live happily together. He becomes a child, and blah blah blah. But in this one, he not only saves his dad, he cares, and he takes care of him like for
A long
time.
Yes,
So
that's
basically, his father is quite sick,
Yeah.
and he goes to work, he earns money, and buys food and things for his father. So
Yeah.
then Geppetto recovers, and then Pinocchio receives his gift. So
Yeah.
becoming a child.
Yeah.
So it's a huge difference. I mean, not only he becomes responsible, you see him that he studies all
That's
the time.
right. Yes,
So
yes.
he does what he has to do. But not only that, he takes care of his father.
Yeah, I think that's the point. So that's basically Pinocchio's growing, you know. So he's growing between what is the right thing to do, and at the same time understanding that Geppetto needs him. So at the end, he really understands how much Geppetto means to him. So basically, you can see how much he cares and everything else. So he basically works a lot, etc. As you said, that was very, very emotional, and I think it was. It was the same as the book. So I've read the book, and I also, if you want to know more about Pinocchio, it's a good idea to read the book. because you have a lot more, let's say.
Well, yeah, you can read the book, but either by watching this movie and finding the small differences between this movie and the book, because in this case we're talking about really small differences,
very small
between the book and this movie.
Yeah.
So all in all, this movie is really great. It's something that, as I already said before, the Italian cinema should be proud of.
Yeah, I agree.
And it definitely deserves a watch. So we highly suggest it to you.
Yes, for sure.
If you've already seen this movie, you can leave a comment here below and share your experience. If you liked what we
said about Pinocchio,
right, you can leave a like here on the video or share it with your friends.
For sure. For now, our time is over, but we will.
We'll keep on. We'll come back with our videos in the future for sure. We will have plenty other topics to talk about. But yeah, as you said, our time is over. So see you next time.
Bye.